Hello and welcome everyone from around the world. We're here with a very special, long-time Stargater, dear friend, Siri Barker.
Greetings.
So Siri is indeed a really great friend. She's been with the Stargate almost since the beginning, and I was just telling her a few moments ago, I just saw a photo of her recently in Telluride, which is in Colorado, and she was actually helping me make these large Stargates. So welcome, Siri. It's really great to be with you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Jules. Thank you, Brigitte. Greetings to everybody. And that was a long time ago.
That was several lifetimes ago, wasn't it?
That was the 90s. Gosh.
Yeah, we can't get closer than it was the 90s, but
Yes.
yeah, a long, long time ago. It must have been the beginning of the 90s. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So Siri is an amazing person. She's had an incredible journey, as most of us have. And wow, I think we'd like you just to say a little bit about your story, who you are and what's been happening and how you connected with the Stargate. And yeah, basically, who are you and what's this incredible energies that you've been sharing around the world for so many years?
Oh, gosh. Thank you so much, Brigitte. Thank you, Jules. And we were just sitting, just to say hello to everybody and say we were just sitting talking about the waters, and all three of us were getting so excited and could feel this. So if anyone's feeling that right now, you're connecting in with the spirits of the waters. We really brought them up quite strong. So my name is Makosi Siri, and I am an initiated sangoma from South Africa. And yeah, my story, the start of the Stargate is a long time ago in the 90s. I had been studying energy and healing, and I came outside from one of my classes, and on this very old wall was a picture of the Stargate. And I looked at it and I bawled my eyes out. I just stood there crying and crying and crying. And it was at that building. And I said, no, tomorrow I'm coming. I'm coming for this.
I hadn't heard that story.
Yes.
Wow. How cool.
It was so special because it was a 2-day workshop, and I met Alcazar for the first time. And he picked on me the whole weekend. No, he didn't pick on me. He really gracefully opened me up. And he knew that I was incredibly embarrassed and shy. And he knew somehow that I would be leading groups with the Stargate work and with my own work. And I couldn't do that being terrified of people. So what he did, I don't know if you remember, Brigitte.
I don't know.
Yes, there was this group of maybe 30 or 40 people. And each time I sat down, he got everybody to look at me.
Oh, really?
And I was called Denise then. So look at Denise. Of course, I would brighten and get red. And he said, keep looking at her until she stops blushing.
Wow.
And he said, get used to this. And I was terrified, but I loved him. I loved the way that he played. I love who he is, and I call him a he, but how his energy comes through. And he really opened me to being okay, to being in groups. And I still am shy. So bear with me, of course. So I met Alcazar in London with Brigitte, and then a small group of us started to travel around with Brigitte, and we started to do workshops together and became very familiar with the Stargate work.
Yeah, that was around Europe, wasn't it?
It was all through Europe,
Yeah.
and the way it happened was so spirit-driven, because somebody would say, "Would you like to come to this little village in Europe somewhere?" And Brigitte would go, "Yes, we're coming." And then we'd arrive, and then 30 people would be there. Nobody's advertising and leaflets. These people just came from somewhere. They were brought to come to the Stargate, and it was just so beautiful being part of that. And I became strong enough inside of myself to begin to present workshops, and at times went with another Stargate around Europe, and Brigitte went to other places. So, and whenever I came back, it was like, "Oh, I'm back with, back with Daddy. You can help me." But yeah, I know through many times with Alcazar and through Brigitte, Alcazar has come through to share that I've had many lifetimes with the Stargate, many lifetimes with Alcazar, and I feel incredibly grateful that I'm able to be here in this time working with the Stargate. So yes, so the Stargate work has been a huge part of my life. Yeah. Sorry, I just thought of something else. So I have to say it now. But when I was younger, I was terribly alone being in this world. And I had Arcturian people that used to come into my room and be with me. And I can't wait to meet Vivienne to say thank you to her and her people, because they really saved my life.
Wow.
Because I was odd and weird and didn't understand this world, and these people came in and held me. So, Vivienne, when I meet you, it's going to be a big thank you to you and your people, because you saved my life. You really did. Of course. Yeah, so after the Stargate work, I was taken back to South Africa, and I had a calling. I had a calling to become a sangoma, which I didn't know about. And a sangoma is an indigenous diviner and healer. And to become a sangoma, I'd have to leave everything of my life behind. And that included the Stargate and Alcazar and everything. And that was quite difficult because I had formed such a strong connection. So the sangoma world is driven by spirit. You are called by spirit. It's not something you do or choose to do. And the ancestral realm choose you to come and be of service to humanity. You need to dream of your teachers, and they dream of you. And then you find each other, and then you are taken out of society for as long as it takes for the spirit and you to be able to learn how to connect. And that can be a year, it can be 10 years. So after 1 year of marriage with my beloved husband, I went off to train and said to him, I don't know when I will be back. And this was in Africa for an Englishman who didn't know anything about Africa. He had to say goodbye to his wife, and she went off with teachers he didn't even know, elders he didn't even know. And yeah,
how was the call? When you say you were called, what was your experience? How did that happen for you?
So when I was in London, I had to leave all my spiritual work behind and start chopping wood and carrying water, which is really the old way of saying, you've done a lot of the Stargate work and reaching higher energies. Now you need to come down. And I was running businesses in London. And then, Brigitte, everything just disappeared. I lost my job. I lost my home. I lost my partner. I got cancer. I lost children. And I lost my mind. And this is what they say: when you don't take up the calling, the spirits sit on you so heavily that they make you realize something is going on. And a lot of the adverts in England are filmed in South Africa. And I would be watching TV, and there would be an advert on the TV, and I would howl and cry. It wasn't me going, I want to go see my mum and dad. It was the spirit going, I need to go home. I need to go home. And when I met my husband, Paul, after a few weeks and we knew we were going to be together, I said to him, and I feel embarrassed sometimes saying this, but I said to him, I have to go to Africa. I don't know why, but if you can't come with me, I'm going alone. And I was 40 and I'd never been married, and I'd met the man of my life. And so it's quite a crazy thing for a woman to do. Really crazy to say, I'm going. And that was the pull of the spirits to come to Africa. And when we arrived in Africa, we met a sangoma who did a bone throwing, a divination. And in the divination, she said to Paul, your wife is very, very sick. She must come and see me. And I went to see her with Paul a week later, and she said, you're very sick. You need to train to become a sangoma. And I said, no, Paul's shamanic. I'm ethereal. I work with the Stargate. It's not me, it's him. And she said, no, it's you. And I said, no, you're getting it wrong. It's him. She said, no, you're going to visit other sangomas and they will say the same to you. And they did. Everyone, without knowing, said, you are going to train. And then I opened to connecting in dream world to my teachers. And I left my husband and started a journey which took over 3 years away from my husband at different times, to connect to the spirits of the land, the caves, the old people, to connect to spirits that connect us to those from the stars. So we have a tradition that is connecting to the stars. So I felt very familiar there. And in fact, I did my training in the Drakensberg, which means Dragon's Mountain.
Wow.
And there are dragons there. And in that place, I was able to really have visceral connection to those star beings and to the dragon world. The one occasion I had where I looked into the mountain and this huge eye of a dragon opened and looked at me. And I felt in awe because I'd never actually met a dragon here. I'd met them in other spaces. So I also trained with the water spirits. So we connect deeply with those of the ocean, of the deep waters in the earth, of all the waters. And the water spirit is huge. I can't, I'm lost for words at the moment, but it really is something to respect. And I know that when we are in Kos, that we will be connecting deeply with the water spirits of that space.
Well, the planet is so much water.
We are so much water. The water is, our DNA is encapsulated by water. I know Jules has a better way of saying that than I do. She's got the scientific way.
I believe it's called a chiral superstructure. The water is geometrized around the DNA, and it's part of what allows the DNA to interface with the quantum field.
Yes. So when you hear Jules saying that, really feel into what she's saying, because we are able to connect into the quantum field through this watery way. And in COS, we're going to be really working deeply with the cosmic waters and the earth waters, and really holding that space, together.
It's interesting because Jules just said that the water is crystalline around the DNA. And there's all this talk about moving into a new reality, a higher reality, a crystalline reality.
Yes.
And that came up yesterday with Vivian's talk.
Yes.
And for those of you who missed Vivian's talk, she's done a lot of work with the water in South Africa. So when I mentioned that to Siri, there was great excitement about coming together in many different levels. And so we're going to be sharing in COS, we're going to be sharing the excitement and the blending of all these different presenters. It's amazing. There's a question here from Tammy. Perhaps you'd like to answer it. And the question is, does Poseidon or Neptune have any connection to spirits of water?
Yes, and we're going to be connecting into that. And I was saying to Jules before we started that when we step into that space together as this large group, we really are humble and reverent for what we're stepping into. And we will be asking permission to be working and alongside these very large energies that are present. And I can't say how that will be for us, but absolutely we are stepping into a place where there are many, many, many of these large beings. And what we were saying earlier together as when we were chatting earlier is that as a group coming together, we are holding and can work alongside the spirits of the waters and the water element to send out and magnify those things that we are coming together for. And for me, when you first mentioned coming together in COS, it was all around community. And if we can come together with our watery feelings of appreciation, our feeling of, wow, somebody has put some money down and I could fly here and come here and be here and really feel that energy that we talk about of appreciation, that we can send that into this environment, that we can not only really enjoy all the presenters, Jules and Brigitte, but every one of us that comes together is bringing our own song, our own energy, and to stand together acknowledging and loving every single person in a space, that we can say as humankind, let us love one another. Let us really see the song that I sing, the song that Jules sings, the song that Brigitte sings, that we are all forming this orchestra that is sublime, isn't it, Jules?
Yeah,
it's
it's
beautiful.
incredible.
You're saying the song that we sing.
Yeah.
Brigitte's name in Sanskrit, it means song of bliss.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just got that bliss vibe, but in the context of us all coming together and singing our unique songs.
Yeah.
And Brigitte can really stand there with all of us and hold that energy of his name, of bliss, and your master.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, we've done a couple of workshops in Greece before, right next to the Temple of Poseidon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Near Athens in Sunyon. Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll connect even more so. But I just wanted to bring in there, I don't know if everybody noticed, but just the energy has shifted as we've been talking about Brigitte and his name and his teacher and what we are able to really bring into the world. And before we started, I had a message around that we will be working with not only the Stargates on planet, but those stargates off planet. And I think Alcazar might talk a little bit on that in a short while, or when we're in COS. But it's like we have this opportunity to connect in from the cosmic waters and the earth waters, and working with the stargates that maybe we don't even know are existing, but are in other space times.
Yeah. Would you like to say something about the cosmic waters? Because I think that might be very new for many people. It certainly was for me.
Sure. So about, I think maybe 2 years ago, we run a monthly Stargate meditation, and the guides just brought this cosmic water through, and now every time they just bring this cosmic water, and it's not about trying to do something. They're just saying, just receive. So it's a, how do they put it? It's not a remembering. Oh, it's the origins, the waters of our origins. And not to come with your mind, but the waters of our origins. Let's hold that. And so yes, Makos, Makosa Makulu. The cosmic waters in a lot of ancient traditions and indigenous cultures all have different but similar stories of our cosmos being created through the celestial or cosmic waters, through a birth of sticky, icky stuff, and coming into this world and creating our world, which is so much included in water. And if you think about the birth of children and what they go through, and that icky stuff, they're sitting in there and coming through into this space. And when we're in that space of being in a mother's womb, we are transported to where we're coming from, and we're also interacting with where we are. So the space of being in two spaces at once. So I'll go a little deeper with some of those stories when we're in COS together of that. But all of my elders of all of my traditions have said the same story. And it's almost like you need to know where you come from. You need to know where you come from. And you're coming from this celestial waters that have created your cosmos and created your earth. And that is part of our longing to that space, not only our longing to some planets that we are familiar with, but actually that longing of that celestial watery space. So every time we come together in our meditations now, we bring those waters in, and we'll be working a lot with those waters when we're in COS.
Wow, that's some of the original energies of creation.
Yes.
The energies that created these physical realities.
And,
wow.
and at a time when we are at a crossroads, and that we are on the edge, if you can say that, we are now connecting to these waters that we are able to co-create with this new reality, this new creativity. We can really create. So when I do my work with waters, it's not me doing it. I'm working with the water spirit that is, when I'm initiated, the water spirit is within me. It's not something that disappears and goes somewhere else. It's within me. So the water spirit is doing the work. And when we have a glass of water, we can read what's happening for somebody from that glass. Everything is contained in that water about the person. We can work energetically and ask that this water support us in a moment, and drink it, and it can support us. Healings have happened with people being able to connect to waters, and bathing, washing, which is part of the work that I do. And just a few days ago, I had someone who was going for a very big river wash with the water spirit, and he was so resistant, and he was like, no, and everything that he resisted just relaxed when he was having his water bathe by the water spirits. And he came out and he said, I feel like I am a baby and renewed. And
Wow.
all that I was holding on to, really holding on to, it doesn't matter now. And he changed. So we have the ability to really hold the intention that we wish to hold in costs. And
Did that happen?
Yeah.
Sorry, did that happen in your workshop in Austria?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
He was resistant. He actually said to me, and he used this word when we walked down the path to the river. He said, I feel like I'm enslaved. I feel like I'm enslaved, and I don't want to go and do this, and I'm going to hold on to everything that I have in my life. And he really came face to face with all of his own harshness for himself. And the waters washed all of that away. Let us wash the grief of our planet away when we're together, because people are grieving around our earth, around one another, around where we feel we're going. Let us uplift each other together in costs, looking at each other and smiling at what you bring, and honor one another and honor the waters and the great beings that are there with us, with respect.
Naima is acknowledging it's the age of Aquarius.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for that. Absolutely. And there's also something around our ancestral lineages, and being able to clear some of those things that sit in our body that are part of our ancestry. So we'll see what pops up and what comes up when we're in class together with that. Makos. Excuse me if I speak a little Zulu every now and then, but I'm just acknowledging the ancestors so that they know I'm not just talking, they are here.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you what you were saying.
Makosa makulu, it means I'm saying thank you to the great spirits and these great water spirits here, because we're talking about very big spiritual waters, watery people down in Greece. And so I'm going to come very slowly and just greet you all, because they're very strong. Very strong. Yeah.
Yeah, cause is going to be such an amazing blending of all these different supportive energies.
Yes.
It gets more and more delightful. I guess it's difficult to find the word that expresses the joy and the incredulity and of
we
what's
need a
going to
new
be
word
happening.
for it, because it's almost like the quantum field is so packed in with spirit and beauty and staggering genius and community and gratitude and things falling off of us and us liberating. And it's like all of it is part of us coming together.
And it's like there's so many dimensional realities which are beginning to reveal themselves. And it's like we need to have eyes to see and a willingness to allow these other dimensions to start to come into our reality. And I think that's a great segue, because Siri's just finished this workshop in Austria, and somebody captured a couple of images of water spirits. And if you just take a look at this and just see if you can allow, instead of just a physical looking at the rocks and the water, see if you can sense the spirit, the beingness that's communicating, that's asking or offering to be acknowledged. And the more we can open to this as a possibility, not, oh, it's just my imagination, the more you can allow for the possibility that you're beginning to merge with other dimensional realities, the more it can happen for us. So thank you so much for sharing these pictures with us. I know you've got more, and you'll probably bring some of those to
I'll
Cos.
bring them to Kos. And I just wanted to mention also, when you're talking, Pragit, around these different dimensional spaces, and coming back to my training, just after a few weeks of being in training, my first training, my trainee brother was having dreams of him and I being underwater. And in Africa, some sangomas do train underwater. And my elders and teachers had to go to my husband and say to him that if I go into the ocean and drown, that I'm not dead, but I will come back. And my husband was an Englishman who had never been in Africa for long, and I think would have found that quite difficult. And my mum and dad would have found that really quite difficult to understand. But I've met two people who are sangomas who have been trained in the waters. So you go to the waters and the water takes you. And you are taken into what we could term another dimension. And in there you train. And you come out wearing your cloths, your beads, your regalia. Everything is given to you under the water within this dimensional space.
Wow.
And then you come out as an initiated sangoma. Luckily, that didn't happen. But even to today, you'll notice that sangomas don't go deep into the waters, because if they feel they want more training, they may just take me in there and then might be there for a period of time. And that is difficult for people to understand. But it gives an idea of these different dimensions and places that we can connect to in the waters. And that's why it's about being respectful of the waters where we are, because we don't actually know what's going on in there. And that was a big time for me. And I still, even this time with that waterfall, I was very careful not to go too deep, because the spirits really, I get very excited for you to go and do more learnings. And we say, thank you very much. I've done my bit. So that is an interesting part of the work as well.
Wow. And just to mention that when Siri joins us for workshops, she always does the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony, and they're always very beautiful, energetic, and very touching.
And we use water every time. So we really hold from the beginning of the workshop what is taking place within the waters, and then they are offered back into the waters, so that energy of what has been created in the workshops is taken into the waters and sent into our world of water.
Very
to be used. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
So if anyone is sitting here thinking, should I go or not? Feel that watery energy, because we really, I'm excited. We went to Slovenia a few years ago, and there were around 500 people, and we're looking at having over 1,000 people. And I can't even begin to imagine how it's going to be, because last time was very special, and now we have this opportunity to all come together and to be in one another's company as human beings, and also Arcturians and others together, and to really create. So I just say, just tune in and feel if you're sitting on the edge of wondering whether you should come and be embraced by the waters of Kos, and embraced by those other Stargate family members, and be embraced by the love that we are sharing together, and this community that we have created together. So let us come together and really lift each other up.
Yeah, and it's it's an indescribable experience being with so many like-minded people. But the biggest gift is not so tangible. It's like what happens within you, and this feeling, such a deep feeling of I'm not alone, that I am supported. There are people that understand me, that we vibe together. And we do literally, as you say, uplift each other. And what Alcazar said is we're going to be uplifting humanity because there's going to be enough numbers of us physically present. And that's such an important aspect to it, which is why Alcazar has been stressing community and stressing, come, be physically there if you possibly can. If you can't actually be there for practical reasons, join us on the live stream. Bring your energy there. Be with us. Intend to have your energy there with us, and you will be uplifted as well.
And someone's asking if there's going to be translation into Spanish. And yes, there is going to be translation of featured speakers and the main event into 8 languages.
Yeah.
So Spanish will be included. Yeah.
I was also going to mention that sometimes people feel that they need to be, it's all about smiles and being uplifted. And if you're feeling a little grungy, that you're not welcome. And actually, when you're a family, when you come together in community, it's okay that if you're having a down day and you want to sit there and cry in front of 1,000 people so we can all cry together, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's not about, we have to be high vibe. We're embodying so much, and we're clearing so much that if there are tears, if there's stuff, let us support each other and be real. Be real. If you cry, you cry. If you smile, you smile. And if you sing, you sing.
Yeah, it's like bring your stuff, and
and let it go.
Let it go. That's the thing.
Because it has to sometimes explode out of you like confetti in order for it to go, right? And if you just push it down all the time and pretend to be happy.
We've all been pushing it down for so many lifetimes. It's really time to let it go. And there's nothing more supportive than being in a group of people that will totally allow you to be yourself as you are.
This has been one of the most healing things about Stargate for me, is Pragit has always been so clear in his support of all of the deep processing that we go through. And so I've been embraced and invited to be authentic in crying in front of hundreds of people. I haven't hit 1,000 yet. But it's like there is something so healing about that, because what you realize is the shared humanity in it all.
Yes.
There's a great comment from Ashanka, and she's saying, Guru Nanak, one of the 10 Sikh gurus, went into the Ganges and disappeared for 3 days. He emerged with the Guru Granth Sahib, the holy documents of the Sikhs.
Whoa.
I'm getting goosebumps with that.
Of course.
Thank you, Ashanka, for sharing that.
Thank you.
It's like humanity has been so repressed and so disconnected for so long that when you hear a story like that, in the past, I would have said, oh, yeah, another one of these religious stories. But now I'm beginning to realize that these things have such a deep reality to them that's only beyond the mind, because our minds have become so limited and entrapped in the conditioning that our different societies put upon us. Yeah, so thank you again, Ashanka.
Thank you. Yeah, and the waters are our tears also, and the earth is also in this shifting space. So that if the tears are there, great, and tears of joy. When you have a good laugh together. We won't name any one of your beings that comes through you, Brigitte, because I'm sure Symphonia will be coming.
Oh my gosh.
If anybody wasn't in Slovenia, there was a time in Slovenia when Symphonia came through, and we all cried laughing for, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour. And just as you thought it's over now, poof, another big allowing of that. And I think it's also, sometimes stuff can come out through the laughing. When everything is built up for us. Let's Symphonia, we hope you join us.
Yeah, Symphonia is a mermaid, for those people that don't know her. Yeah. And that was, for me, that was quite a challenge, just to let that happen, because in front of all these people, and Symphonia was doing all these funny things and moving my body in a strange way. And I still remember a joke she made about when she watches us swimming in the water, and she said, "You're going like this, and your legs are going like this, and you don't move." It was so funny.
She's kicking your legs around.
Yes. Yeah.
I can feel her spirit right now.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Be careful, she may come in.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And Morgine is asking, will the Greek event be in Greek time?
Indeed,
absolutely. Yeah.
Lovely.
And all the information is on our website.
Yeah, so the easiest way to find it would be just go to the StargateExperienceAcademy.com. You can find the live stream sign up and the in-person sign up page. There's 2 different pages. And
I'm sure that Soleil is, here you go. Yep. Soleil is putting it up already. Full schedule. Okay, so it's like I'm almost exhausted with the energy that's happening right now.
I don't know whether everybody's typing, but can everybody out there feel this energy that we're feeling? Because there's a lot happening, and it's exciting, and the heart is going like this. So I'm hoping that everyone else is feeling that as well, feeling this excitement with the water, and our time in COS together, and our time as a Stargate family together, and our opening to how we can work with the waters and all that is coming to COS together. There's so many elements, and you will have been in Egypt, and there's something about going to Egypt and then coming and bring that energy to COS that feels so right. We're going to bring that there, and we're all going to experience that through those that have embodied being in Egypt.
Yes, people are checking in the chat saying yes, they're feeling it. Yes, definitely. Yes, it's so wow. I feel the strong energy. I'm so excited. Wow, yes. Thank you. Bring me more of this. Yes.
Yeah.
If you have any questions that you might like to ask Siri while we have her.
Yeah. And Tracy is saying namaste from South Africa.
Namaste.
Anna is saying Symphonia with a big
I love it. Actually, in South Africa, I haven't witnessed it myself, but other sangomas have witnessed mermaids, live mermaids. Yeah. So we have quite a lot of beings that we think are only in other dimensions, but are witnessed here as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the sailors used to talk about them in a different way.
Yes.
They call them sirens. Was that the right word?
Yeah, and actually that tracks with what you're saying about they take you.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, these sailors seeing these beautiful beings in the water and being invited to jump in and be with them. Yeah. who knows what actually happens?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
And Patricia is saying, yes, I've had many lifetimes as a mermaid.
Beautiful. Mm. Mm.
Yeah, it's like we just have to open up
Mm.
and let go of all the limitations that create judgments about people's experiences and people's insights.
And this is again relating to the 12 aspects of our higher self or our soul experiencing life in another dimension as a mermaid.
Oh, Michelle is just saying, that's great. Thank you, Michelle. She's saying
Oh.
the French word for mermaid is sirene. So that's probably where, yeah, perfect. Thank you. And there's a question there from Els. She's writing from Belgium, and so I don't quite follow what your question is, Els.
Oh, she's asking about the
link
link
between
between the cosmic Nile in Egypt and the cosmic waters.
Yeah.
Cool.
We will find out.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be doing work with the Nile when you're there with Vivienne, I think.
That's right.
Yes,
She said she did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Else, I think we're going to find out more about it as it moves from there all the way down to Kos.
Yeah. Tammy is saying, Patricia, wish you would come with me to Florida.
It's in context from earlier
Somebody
chat.
else. Okay.
People are chatting in the chat.
Well, maybe there's a workshop for Siri happening in Florida.
Ooh, that feels cool.
Connect to the dolphins as well.
Yes,
I heard
absolutely.
Bimini in my head when you said that.
Mm.
Okay, so
Yes.
Rakesh
Rakesh is checking in from India. It's beautiful. There's people all around the world. Yeah. Morgane is saying, I keep crying and talk to my water as you suggested and cried more and more after drinking the water.
Oh, that's beautiful. That means the waters is releasing, allowing everything to release.
Yeah, talking about releasing, is Elizabeth is making a joke. We all the way home.
You see, we've got a great community.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fun in Kos.
Yes.
I love it.
So I know
somebody else is saying, yes, come to Florida. There you go.
Cool.
So somebody should connect with Siri and arrange a workshop there. Okay. So maybe I was going to say move into meditation, but we're like pulsing with energy already. It feels like, I mean, meditation in a sense is just being present in the moment.
But isn't it so good to just like go into it, like fully go into it, because it's so calling us right now?
It is. It is. Yeah. We're in it. We stepped in it.
Well, Morgane is just asking, is she going to do a meditation?
There are a couple of people asking how to connect deeply with the ocean or with a glass of water.
So just like this, you can just have your glass of water and allow for your intention. So if, like Morgane is saying, she wasn't feeling so well or feeling a bit down, you can really just connect to the waters with your intention. And you can place your hand over if you want, or your hand around the glass, and just visualize what is it that you would like. So if you are feeling sad, but you're holding your tears back, you might want to release your tears. So I ask for all of the tears that sit inside that have been unshed to come up. Ask for my heart to be peaceful around those things that feel difficult in my life right now. We'll do this together in Kos. And then you can drink that water. But it's coming from a place of deep sincerity and connection. So for me, I'm really lucky because I have that connection as an initiated person. But everyone can connect to the waters that, if I can say, they're listening to what we're saying. So every time we're doing our internal talk, the waters in our body are hearing that internal talk. So when we are cooking our dinner and we have water in there and we're having a very bad mood and we are creating a mess in the pot, we are creating that energy into the waters, and then we eat it.
Mm.
Don't feel so well. So it's bringing us back to being really present with everything and present with where our emotions are. And if we are having something that's stuck or we want to release, we are doing that within the Stargate. And so ask for that. Let me just release it. And no expectation, as we always say. I don't think I drink that and then I start crying. Just ask. Allow for these tears to come. This man that came to the river with me this week, he hasn't cried in years. And he was in the river. And the next minute, all he could do was cry. He just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. And the waters washed him and washed him and washed him. And the spirit of the water is doing something that I can't even say what it is with the mind. It's happening in a spiritual context.
Yeah.
Just washed him. And certainly it may be that after cost, depending on what happens, maybe we do something to work deeper with the water. We just put it out there and see how it comes up. We just follow what happens.
Yeah.
So it opens up.
Kyra is saying, can you do it with just tap water?
Yes, you can. You can change the frequency in the water. Obviously, if you can have beautiful, clean water, but every time you take your waters, you can do this for your plants. So if you've got a plant that's not feeling so good, work with the water. Send some beautiful Stargate energies through, and then just give that plant a little bit of that water. But again, it's coming from your intention and your heart. And that's the depth of connecting into the waters. And we will connect deeply in Kos with all of the waters.
Another interesting comment from Ashanka, which goes in alignment with some of the things you said earlier. And she's saying, I've also seen star language symbols in the amniotic fluid. The more the symbols and encodement, the higher the frequency of the soul of the babe.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that beautiful?
It really is. Yeah.
So it's about being really reverent about the waters, where we come from.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a joy, actually, listening to your insights and your sharings.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'll definitely be bringing some more photos, so that we can really sit with them and feel into them. And maybe there's some other ways we can work with water. Once I'm there at Kos, we can see how something can open up for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Makosa makulu.
Maybe we can invite people to bring a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Just to have it with them throughout the whole process, and then they can take that back
Yes.
home with them.
We did that in London, I think 2 years ago, and
yeah, we did.
And many people who had that water through the whole of the workshop took it back, and then sent us videos of them releasing it into a river or into a polluted area, and it was beautiful. There was one where they released the waters in, and it just formed this amazing swirl within the waters, and you really feel that spirit of the water in that space. Yeah. So absolutely, we can ask everyone to have some water when they arrive. Maybe they can buy some in Kos and take it home. After the Glastonbury event in last year, I gave a little vial of the waters from the Glastonbury events to Brigitte and Jules to take home, so they really can, like this, just like a little bottle of water that they can have holding that energy. My wish would be if we could have a little tot of water from every single workshop, but I think it's a little difficult.
That would be cool, like an archive.
Yes. Mm. Mm.
And Maria's asking, is there a comic, I think she means cosmic water connection with Lemuria?
Yes, I know there are people that are having rememberings about the cosmic waters in Lemuria and the Palladians. So there is, and at the moment, for me, the way the guides are working with me is around what I need to do is bring this cosmic waters through. Whew, you can feel that, and that is it. It's not about what it does for us or how it's connected. It's all around us simply being in it, allowing the cosmic waters to flow through us. Some people feel it in their physical organs, and some people feel it in their body and all around them. So just closing your eyes and just feeling for a moment. These cosmic waters without questions in the head, because they talk about connecting to our origins. It's not a thought form, it's not a thinking. To connect to our origins, to allow for that to co-create and work with us, is not a thinking process. And that's why working within the Stargate, it's all around allowing, feeling, experiencing. This man that felt that he had become a baby after holding so much pain throughout his life. He didn't have to think about what he felt in that moment. He just felt it. So just allowing that energy to be all about you and around you and within you. Deep stillness. Just being open. When you begin to open your eyes, opening them and holding this energy. Just holding this energy. And I have a feeling, Jules, that it may be that we need to ask our Stargate astrologer, because it feels like there's something happening in the astrology and water.
Wow. Yeah, let's talk to Linda Bird.
Yeah, see if Linda can just bring some of her beautiful wisdom that she always brings in for this time in the next months.
Fantastic. We will.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can be on that call with us.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I love Linda.
Isn't there the day after the workshop?
Oh, there's an eclipse on the day after the workshop in Cause.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll still be there. Yay.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to talk to Linda about that.
Mm. Mm.
Wow. I was like hearing like a song in my mind as you connected us to the cosmic waters. Just like, wow, that was powerful.
Mm. I'm actually sweating now. I got really, really hot.
Yeah.
That's the water spirit. Yes.
It's leaking out of my head.
Yes, it's all coming.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt the unicorns coming really strong and like blending with the water and like, and then I felt Alcazar, but not to channel, just to, and it was like the feeling of being in channel suddenly, like
Yes.
deep in channel, but with no words is very cool.
Mm. It's a different energy when it comes to it just holds. There's no need to talk or
Yeah.
Name.
Yeah, Naima.
The water cascaded over and within me, sparkled a star in my belly, igniting my essence of life energy. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And she continues, and within me. Yeah.
Mm. Thank you. That's beautiful.
Mm. Ah. So, are there any other comments or questions that you'd like to ask or share whilst we're with Siri?
Morgine saying I could feel the cosmic water like a blessed rain from spirit cleansing my spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could feel it like it was a gentle flow,
Yes.
just very gently flowing around me. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes some people experience it like a translucent type of an energy feeling, and sometimes they actually feel it moving through the organs, just coming through.
Wow.
So it's but I really go with the guidance, and they're not wanting to talk about it. They're just saying, just bring it every time you meditate, just bring it in. And that's been for 2 years now. And so I'm really looking forward to how this will open up in a more cognitive way, if we can say that.
We read that one.
Oh, we did? Okay.
That one. Yeah.
All over. Yes. Yeah.
Very powerful energy. It washes over you very forcefully. I feel my body tingling all over. Yeah, it's almost like it has a substance to it.
Yes. And when we're in COS, we'll be connecting the cosmic waters and the earth waters. And it's quite we've done that meditation a few times in our group, and it just, it's so different because we are used to the waters here, and then you have these waters as well. So and then we have all these beautiful beings that are going to work with us.
Yes. So someone saying this was cool, was walking and felt a very strong energy as if I was approaching a waterfall and then putting my head through it as if through a portal.
Yes. Yes. When we work as sangomas, we work with waterfalls, as you saw, and there are beings that live at the bottom of the waterfall, behind the waterfall, and it is like a portal there. Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why sometimes you'll go to a waterfall and you'll just want to get in, like, oh, I've got to get in there. And then other times you're like, no, I can't, because there's a being there that is saying, this is my territory and you're not coming in. But we feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes people don't feel it and they go running in and trash someone's house.
So there's a question here. I felt like I was drowning and asphyxiated, quite a bad feeling. So what would you say to her?
For that, in that moment, it's feeling like that, Makos, is part of this birthing process that we're talking about. So perhaps connect into your birth and what was occurring for you in your birth, and just ask for those energies and waters to be softened, so that this memory of waters may be softer, the cosmic waters, which are soft and flowing and encompassing and opening and creative, are not coming in a feeling of, which is part of how there's a memory within your body. So if you can, in this moment, ask yourself to be gentle with the birthing of yourself through the times that you've come here. Just be gentle with the birthing of yourself through all the times you have come here. For you are meant to be here, sharing your wondrous spirit. Let us feel that from you. Let us feel that wondrous spirit from you.
Lovely. There's a couple of people have been asking, can we join you in Egypt? Unfortunately not.
Well, not in person, but the
Not
live
in-
stream. Yeah.
Yeah. Egypt was full in less than one day with 90 more people on the waiting list. So I'm sure we'll be doing another Egypt trip possibly next year. We will see
Cool.
what the guides have
Wow.
and how things align.
Okay, so I want to show Siri's evening in Greece is also going to be live streamed and in person. And like with all of the other speakers, you can sign up for just her evening, or you can get the all access pass and go a lot deeper.
Yeah.
And also support Siri in her work.
Yeah, all these
Makos.
presenters are not being paid by the Stargate experience. They are being supported by you joining them for their presentation. So for those people that are going to be there in person, and for those people online, we invite you to support these incredible people that are bringing so many different skills and energies, to support them and their work as they're supporting this gathering from around the world. So we would suggest that you sign up for the pass that includes all of these people.
So the all access pass, we'll just scroll up.
And there's the lineup, so to speak, of all the people that are going to be with us. And they're all
Sorry,
go ahead.
Pete, I was just going to say, I don't know how it's unfolding, but it would be really wonderful if there was a way, because if you think about having Robert and also your other guests with the sound, there is such a potential of working with the waters with that also. So,
Well, absolutely. I mean, they're going to be there, and if you ask them to work with you in that way, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to.
would be beautiful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're brilliant, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So the invitation for all of you, if whether you're going to be there in person or going to be following us online, sign up for the All Access Pass. Support these people and their work. And similarly, you can sign up for the online Stargate
That's right.
aspect.
So there's 2 different live streams happening in Greece. There's the main event with Pragit and I, where we'll be live streaming 2 or 3 sessions every day. And then there are the evening sessions with the featured speakers.
Some of them are evening and some of them are afternoon.
If you're coming to Cause in person, there's no need to sign up for the main live stream. But the All Access Pass, you would need to sign up for in order to come to all of the featured speakers in person and also get access to the live stream. So
Recordings,
the live stream All Access Pass is also an All Access Pass for in person. So that's essentially the way that it works. And you'll be supporting all of these beautiful people and sharing their gifts and coming to Cause. Okay.
Thank you to everyone who's come today. I feel like all these people sitting with us here in this space. Thank you so much.
And Pragit, you're confusing people because you're saying the presenters aren't paid. What Pragit is saying is they're not being paid directly by the Stargate experience. They're receiving what comes through as people sign up for their presentation. So they are being paid.
Let's make this really clear.
It's important.
Alcazar has stressed the importance of community. And so instead of charging $700 or $800 or $900 for a week-long workshop, it's $111. It doesn't even cover the costs of putting the workshop on. The presenters are offering their services and are going to be paid by the contribution that you make. So when you sign up for their workshop, they're going to get the $25. So they are going to be compensated for their work through our sharing. This whole thing is about community and supporting each other. And so many thousands of dollars have been contributed by the Stargate family around the world to help those people in financial difficulty. And your contributions have helped people come to Kos who otherwise wouldn't be able to come. And this is what Alcazar is wanting so much for us to realize. It's about community. It's not about holding on to your energy in whatever form. When you give, it's a flow. Giving and receiving are the same energy. So when you give, existence flows to you in some way or other. And it's really important to understand this. We are moving into a new reality. And this whole process, this gathering in Kos, and the coming together of all these beautiful supportive energies from physical people, the presenters, and all the guides that they bring. It's all about supporting each other, growing together. It's like, this is not about making money for us. The Stargate experience is putting in more than $100,000 to make this happen. So really, we invite you to help. There's about another 80 people who've written in asking for financial support. And so if you're someone, even if you can't actually come for many reasons, if you can't be there with us physically, you can still support someone who needs to be there, who can be there, just by going to our website. Can you explain how to do that, Jules?
Yeah, so our support team will drop the direct link in the chat, but you can go to the in-person registration page and scroll down, and you can actually donate a little bit of money, which we will match dollar for dollar. So if you donate $20, it becomes $40 right away, and it adds up really fast. So if you can, you'll be directly supporting somebody, a real human being, and coming to cause and being with this experience. So highly recommend that you do that. And there is still space for you to come in person also. So you'll see on that page all of the instructions, exactly how it works, how to give support or apply for support. So please come, let's power each other up. Let's come together.
And Soleil's just put the link in if you can support other people being there. And also we had an email, somebody was saying, well, I've made a contribution. Can I add a little bit more now? And absolutely you can. If you contributed in the past and would like to help again, please do. There's still a lot of people, another 80 people that would like to be there. We have space for them. We have space for people that can come and can afford to be there. Please tune in, feel, is this something that will be a benefit to you?
And we have 900 of our 1,000 people that Alcazar has asked for. So help to get our, let's manifest the 1,000, because there's a reason Alcazar is asking for these numbers. It's so that we can have a multiplier effect on the humanity with the work we're doing.
So someone's asking for your website, Siri.
It's siribarker.com.
Nice.
And we're just putting it in the chat.
Thank you. I wanted to say a big thank you to you, Brigitte and Jules, for what you've just offered. Because I don't know if anybody noticed, but when Jules said, we will match you, her whole being is shining. She's shining. They're shining to be able to do this. And I just want to say thank you to both of you for opening the space up that people can receive and people can give, and we can really be in this space of community. So thank you so much. We lift you up. We lift you guys up.
I mean, it's such a beautiful project, really, this Stargate, and what it wants to do for humanity, what it wants to do for us individually, this grand journey of reawakening.
Morgana has said, can you just a bit? I cannot be around a lot of people, so I made another contribution. Thank you so much, Morgana. And also,
beautiful.
Take a look at that. I cannot be around a lot of people. Maybe it's time to let that dissolve out of your field. Everything is possible. All our limitations need to go, and we are the only ones holding on to them. And we can say, oh, yes, it's because of my body, or it's because of this or that. Yes, but that's all our creation. And we're all being invited to step out of our limitations, however they manifest. And I know it seems impossible, but it's not.
So this is cool from Monica. So many southern right whales in the waters around Cape Town and surrounding today. And in the water around Zanzibar, which is most unusual at the moment.
La la! Of course! Yay! Beautiful.
Yay. Okay, well, I think it's time to bring this beautiful experience to a close, to be continued.
To be continued.
Indeed. And tomorrow we're on with Robert Coxon, who's going to be bringing live music and also his own form of what is essentially higher consciousness that comes through him in words. And he has been doing Qigong for many, many years. He's incredibly connected to the field, which is what you feel when you're listening to his music, but he started to speak from that space of his connection to the field. And so he's going to be bringing that to the presentation tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
So thank you, Siri. Thank you to the beautiful Stargate family that's growing and growing and growing around the world.
I want to say, Siri, thank you for your heart. Thank you for your soul. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for everything that you've been through on your journey. You're one of the most compassionate people I have ever met.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jules. So many blessings to you both and to every single person listening to this right now and in any moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let us come together in a beautiful way. So much.
Okay, take care. Much love to you all.
Bye for now.
Bye.